Parents, students, and faculty, I'd like to discuss today whether students graduating should have a skills test for life. High school doesn't always prepare you for everything in life, and yes, it prepares you for algebraic expressions and what year the Wright brothers flew their first flight. But ask yourself this: would you have been better prepared after high school for you personally if you had had a life skills test? Such as the test would cover basic knowledge of a variety of things, like how to use a credit card properly, what to look for in buying a house or a new car. A skills test would be on auto mechanics and how to change a flat tire or how to change your oil to save you money in the long run. Do you believe that these things should be taught in high school and not waited until after to be granted the fact that you had to gain the experience first in order to do it? I know what you probably are thinking: another test or another skills test just to graduate. It's not always that simple. Sometimes in life, experience takes a while to learn. This might be a faster way to have everybody have a basic set of skills after they graduate and before they enter the real world. Automotive classes. For me personally, my school only offered vocational classes, and only then auto mechanics who were going into that career field could take them. Not necessarily your average Joe who might not be interested in anything on cars. Although most of us drive cars, not all of us know the working mechanics of a car or how to change a tire. And the school could be asking, well, we just can't afford that. You could go around that and saying, well, you could ask your local mechanic to come in and bring a car and do a mock tire change, or have the students do the tire change. Anything could really work for this situation. But did you know that according to Jeff Bennett of the Wall Street Journal, 2/3 of students do not know the workings of a car or how it even operates? They know how to drive it, but they don't know how to do anything mechanical or could even identify car parts. The average cost for a tune-up, depending on what you need, is about $150 to $1,000. Can you afford that just getting out of high school? I know most can't. So ask yourself if it's cheaper if you know how to do it yourself as opposed to calling in the professionals. But here's another example: buying and selling a house, or just buying a first-time house. For most people, they wait until after college to buy their first home. But in this situation, if you're just getting out of school, you still have school loans, and you don't want to be ripped off on what you buy. There could be a few tips that we could throw out there. One, we don't learn how to buy a house. We learn the mathematics behind it. We learn how to calculate interest and the mortgage payments. But do we actually learn how to buy a house? What to ask? What type of situations can you run into where you might get ripped off? Me personally, I had a friend once who bought a house. She thought the square footage was amazing. She got the right size rooms. She had a number of bedrooms and bathrooms. But here's the kicker: she did not look into the bones of the house, so to speak. She found out much later that she needed a new roof. Your average cost of a roof is about $10,000. She also needed new plumbing and new electrical. The only thing that she didn't run into was the foundation was okay. These are just some of the things that you could be asking as a student that you need to know in the future and might not know to ask. The only thing that would be plausible in that is to maybe have a realtor come in to the school, take a group of students and show them a house and the average questions that most people know to ask for. What's the electrical like? What's the lighting like? What's the plumbing like? Just some questions that you might not think to ask when you're older, but only gain experience with buying a house. Another idea might be to help students practice for the future by resume writing. I know for a fact my school did not offer this, and it would have been a nice trait to find out later how to write a resume. Also, dressing for jobs. Most students work at fast food franchises or the local grocery store and might not know how to properly dress themselves for such an occasion. If you're going in for an interview for a grocery store clerk, do you want to dress like $1,000,000? In fact, the answer is yes. For any type of interview, whether it's for McDonald's or for something even lower, you want to dress your best. But in conclusion, I'm well aware that schools have budgets and not all can be made to, say, attach this to a busy schedule that they already have in place. But things can be added. You could have guest speakers, you can have field trips where you take the students out and show them how things work in the world. But most of all, you can demonstrate these in maybe a classroom setting for a new curriculum in school. I understand that not all of these things can be met, but maybe we can prepare our students better in the real world with some of these things. Thank you.